Hello, my name is Lawrence Arthur. Welcome to Super Kicks Karate. Today's show, we're going to be showing you the material that's required for your yellow belt, which is the first belt that's required in American Freestyle Karate. On this show, we're going to be covering some of the basic blocks, punches, kicks, stances, and of course some footwork that you've got to have for your basic movements. We'll also be going into some self-defense moves against someone throwing a straight punch at you, or grabbing techniques, and someone grabbing you from the front or grabbing you from the rear. We'll also be showing you some fighting combinations, how to play the game of sport karate. At the end of our show, we'll be showing you the star form, which is a kata designed to give you a way of practicing all your basics in a choreographed set of movements. My guest today and helper is Mr. Scott Jewell. Mr. Jewell, I'd like to thank you for helping me today. Mr. Jewell, I'll be teaching actually the material to Mr. Jewell, so you'll have a chance to understand exactly how the material is taught and exactly how to perform it. If you're working with this at home, just get in front of your TV and do the exact same things I'm teaching Mr. Jewell to do, and practice with us as we go along. Our first thing I want to show you, Mr. Jewell, is how we show respect to your instructor in the beginning of each class. We do what's called a salute. We'll start with your feet about shoulder width apart. Now, both fists, when you make a fist, you'll bring your fingers in tight. You'll roll that around tight and put your thumb on the outside of your index finger and your forefinger. Put both fists in front of your belt. At the beginning of each class, you'll bring your left foot up to your right foot, cross your arms in front of your body, knuckles facing out, shaking both hands straight down. Bring them both back up, step back out, shake them down again. Very good. We also show respect by doing what we call a bow. By doing the bow, you'll bring your feet completely together, but a knife hand. Your knife hand, your fingers are straight, thumb on the side of the hand, and bend your fingers just slightly and tense the hand up. With both hands at your side of your body, you're going to lean forward, keep your eyes on your opponent, and slap both hands at your side before you straighten back up. Okay, that's basically the formalities and exactly how you show respect to your teacher at the beginning of a class. You'll also do the salute at the end of the class. The first thing I want to cover today are some stances. Now, we covered your ready position. Your next stance, let's face the camera here. Your next stance is a horse stance. When stepping into a horse stance, take your left foot, step out so your feet are twice as wide as your shoulders, and bend your knees. I want your feet pointing perfectly straight forward, knees pushed out. Pull your hands to your side, upside down, so that they sit behind the halfway part of the body, and they sit in tight, elbows tucked in tight. Your lower back should be kept straight. Very, very good. Okay, that's a horse stance. Next, we're going to go into what's called a forward stance. Return to a ready position. Your next position is a forward stance. In this particular case, I'm going to show you the stance from the side first. When we step into a forward stance, you'll step back slightly at a 45-degree angle out to the side. Now, you're not going to literally step back, shifting your weight back, but instead, you're going to lower your weight right where it is and put 70% of the weight on the front leg. So I'm going to bend my front knee and place my back leg back. Notice how the weight lowered, and I'm not lunging backwards. So when you step into a forward stance, you simply bend your front leg, stepping straight back. 70% of the weight's on the front leg, the front knee is bent so it sits over the toes. The back leg is straight, both feet point perfectly straight forward. Your lower back will be kept straight. This is a forward stance. Mr. Jewell, step back with your right foot. Very good. Front leg bent, back leg straight. Excellent forward stance. Now, back to a ready position. That covers your ready position, your horse stance, and your forward stance. There's one other position I want to go over, that is a guard position. When a guard position is used to protect yourself in a tournament situation or possibly in a fighting situation in the street, the guard is set up so that you can actually put your hands up in a fighting position. Your front hand will be across the body, the rear hand will come across and sit at your elbow. When doing this position, you'll step back so that your feet are slightly at an angle to your opponent. Try that again. From a ready position, when you step back so you're at a slight 45-degree angle. Bend both knees, left hand up, right hand across your body. Now your rear hand sits just behind your elbow in a guard position. Your front hand, remember, is always slightly in front of your body. You don't want to have it back here too far, protecting your face from there. Have it slightly in front of the body. Knuckles can be facing out here or here. Both are correct. A guard position. Now, when you change guard position in class, we do a very simple jump around. When I say change guard, just simply jump up, turn, and cover. Try that. Turn. Good. All right. Back to a ready position. That covers all of your basic stances. We need to have the basic stances so we can work on our hand techniques and our kicks from some position. I want to cover one other point now, and that is a ki. The ki itself is a yell, but it's more important than just a yell. You see, ki, the word means breath control. Ki, the first two letters, ki, means breath, and ai means control, breath control. So it's not necessarily how loud you're yelling, but it's the air coming out of your lungs that's so very important. It's a deep breath, and then all the air comes out of your lungs as you exhale with a loud scream. That's a ki. A ki does several things for you. It literally ties the mind and body together as one, so you have maximum power at the moment of contact. You'll also confuse your opponent. If you're defending yourself and you're, it makes them react or makes them freeze for a moment, giving you just a millisecond longer to do your technique or to defend yourself. It also confuses your own brain senses, so you don't feel pain at the moment of contact. If you hit somebody in the head, for instance, with your hand, believe me, their head is harder than your hand. You could very easily injure your hand. But by ki-ing, you won't feel pain at the moment of contact. So your ki does several things for you, but most importantly is it's got to be an exhale along with the yell. Next, I want to go into some hand techniques. The first hand technique is called a basic karate punch. This is used to develop your control of your hands and also used to develop the coordination of pulling one hand to the body as the other hand goes out, called the cranking movement. Mr. Jewell, please step out into a horse stance. Good. Now we'll extend your left hand in front of your body. You'll be punching the exact same size person you are in the solar plexus, which is located right in the center of your chest, just below your breastbones, a soft spot there. There's really nothing you can do to protect that spot or to build any muscle up, so it's a real good spot for aiming your target. When you're punching, you punch with two knuckles, your foreknuckle and your middle knuckle. When punching, jerk your left hand to your side as your right hand goes out, and do it very slowly, turning the hand over in the last 3 inches of the punch. Excellent punch. Then you punch a little more. Try that again. Ready? Punch. Good. Punch. Good. Punch. Now, by focusing your attention on the solar plexus and centering your punch, that's called mental focus. Your next part of this is physical focus. What I'd like for you to do is to jerk your hand to the body now. The cranking movement, by jerking one hand to you, as the other hand goes out, you'll have more power. Jerk it. Good. Again, punch. Again, punch. Punch. Now, at the moment of contact, I want you to jerk as hard as you can, but at the moment of contact, I want you to tighten every muscle in the body. I want you to tighten the legs, I want you to tighten the chest, and tighten the face muscles. I want you to ki-eye. So it's a deep, and then relax. Let's try that. Ready? Punch. Good. Ready? Punch. Again, ready? Punch. Good. Ready? Punch. All right, very good. Now, ready position? That covers your basic punch. It's important to practice your basic punch by doing not only single punches, but also practice double punches, triple punches, and work on some coordinating drills like high, middle, and low, or low, middle, and high. This will give you a full range of movement and get you used to punching with one hand and the other hand, pulling one hand to you as the other hand goes out. If you'd like to do a real good arm drill to develop your strength in your upper body, is to do a single punch 10 times, and then do a double punch 10 times, and then do triple punches 10 times, and then do 4 punches 10 times, 5 punches 10 times, until you're doing 10 punches 10 times. That's quite a few punches, and it'll really give you a good workout. You can also start at number 10, say 10 punches 10 times, and work your way back down. Sometimes we'll do this at the beginning of class and then do it again at the end of class, really giving them a good workout with the arms. That covers your basic punch. Your next technique is called a back fist, and we do this technique from a fighting position. Give me a guard position, please. Okay, when doing a fighting position with a back fist, you'll be hitting with two knuckles, your foreknuckle and your middle knuckle. The hand will come around on your target, so you'll simply raise the elbow, the hand comes out and around, and then you refold the elbow back to your side. It's very important that that elbow raises slightly as the hand goes around on the opponent and not straight in. A straight in movement would be called a jab. We're doing a back fist, which comes around. It's one of the fastest techniques in karate, and it's used as a blinder. Something you hit somebody with real fast and then refold from there. Back fist, slow motion, throw it out, and refold. Full speed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very good. Okay. Now, facing me with a guard position. A back fist, when done towards an opponent, well, one of two things are going to happen. Your opponent is either you're going to hit him, and then he'll react to it and raise his hand, or he'll raise his hand to start with. That also leaves his lower body open. To hit the lower body, we use what's called a reverse punch. Reverse punch means you're punching with the opposite hand of which foot is forward. If my front foot is in forward, I punch with my right hand, I'm going to be using a reverse punch. Now, notice the cranking movement. On your basic punch, you're taught to jerk one hand to you. On your back fist reverse punch, if your back fist goes out, you pull that hand back to your face and then punch to the body. When doing a reverse punch, the power in the reverse punch starts in the rear foot. From a fighting position, please, guard up. Now, when throwing the reverse punch, you're going to pivot on the ball of your right foot, turning the foot, turning the hip, and throwing the reverse punch. All the way out, punch. Keeping your elbow tucked in. I don't want your rear elbow to go behind your back. Keep it tucked into your chest tight, and refold. Try that again. Punch, refold, punch, refold. Now try your punch so you punch and refold very quickly. Punch, again punch, again punch. Now there's one other point I want to cover here, and that is when going under the arm. If you're fighting your opponent and he's facing you straight on, your punch can go straight out and turn completely over, giving you maximum impact. However, if you're going under the person's arm, he throws a back fist and reverse punch at me, and I've got to come under, I can probably, if I get my hand down soon enough, can block his arm very easy because his arm has no way of recovering from that block. However, if he keeps his hand either vertical or upside down, now when I come down, he can absorb that block and still get the punch underneath the ribs. So if you're going under the arm, you keep the hand upside down. However, if you're going not under the arm, you turn the hand completely over. Which the same thing applies when going to the head. A reverse punch going to the head, if you keep it upside down, of course, he can block it very easily. However, keeping the hand over, you can absorb the block and still get the punch in over top. So your reverse punch works several different ways there. You also want to practice your back fist reverse punch as a combination, as a 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, and get a feel for doing it both left and right sides. Another punch we cover is what's called a lunge punch. Your lunge punch is used to practice your self-defense moves or having an opponent coming at you with a straight line punch. You see, a straight line punch is the hardest technique to defend yourself against. A circular punch is much easier to block than a punch coming straight at you. So when doing a lunge punch, we start from a ready position. On a count of 1, step back into a forward stance. 1. Good. Now, with your hand at your side, I'd like you to take a straight line punch. When doing a straight punch, we do what's called a C-step. This is part of your footwork. Your rear foot will slide into your front foot, keeping both legs bent, keeping your head level, and then you'll step out back into a forward stance, and then punch. Try that again. From a ready position, step back guard, and step forward, and punch. Very good. Okay, that's called a lunge punch. The C-step, to go into a little bit about footwork, is very important because actually the C-step shifts your weight. If you notice the body facing straight forward, when the foot comes up, my hips actually cock slightly to the side. So it comes in, and then when I step into that forward leg and shift my weight, I'm going to shift my weight as my hip also shifts, giving me maximum power in my punch. So the motion is stepping back and then shifting as you step into the punch to throw a straight lunge punch. This is also something you should practice both left and right sides so you have power in both arms and the coordination on both sides of the body. Next, we're going to go into some blocking techniques. For the blocks, we're going to, first of all, there's several blocks you've got to learn for your yellow belt. There's a palm heel block, which is what's called a soft block. You simply use your knife hand, and a palm heel block is used to deflect a punch. If someone were throwing a punch at you, as opposed to hard blocking and then countering on your opponent, you'll do what's called a soft block. You simply change the direction of the punch by simply slapping it. So if someone were punching, I could block it this direction and move off the technique, or I could block it and hit him on the other side. So it's a soft block. From a ready position, it's very simple. You simply bring your hand to your shoulder and turn it slightly as you block across the body, and then block the other way. You should have the coordination to go both sides with a palm heel. It's very important to keep your hands together, keep your thumb tucked in tight. You don't want to have your hands open because you could very easily get hit between your fingers and could injure your hands. So keep your hands tight and then coming across to block. That's your palm heel block. Your next block is a low block. When doing a low block, it's used to defend yourself against a technique coming from the lower part of the body. Let's say a front kick, for instance. The low block, you'll simply fold the arm across the body, and then as you pull one hand to your side, the other hand goes straight out and down slightly to the side. You don't want to go any further than the side of your body. There's no need in blocking to here. You're wasting space there. Come right to the side of the body. As you fold the other hand, you'll also cross that blocking arm that you just used across your waist, and basically making an X across your body, folding the arms in tight so that you're actually covered from the chest. And then as you pull your left hand to your side, the other right hand will go straight out and down. Make sure the knuckles are out, blocking with the outside edge of the arm. Again, you'll fold the other hand up and block, fold, block, fold, block. Again, you want to apply the cranking movement here. You want to fold quickly and then jerk your hand as you block. Fold quickly, block. As you advance, you'll do more than just folding. You'll pivot the body sideways. You'll pivot on the ball of both feet, turning the blocking arm towards your opponent, taking the target away from your opponent. In other words, by turning sideways, you give them less of a target to hit, and then blocking. From here, you'll pivot, folding the arms as you turn back towards your opponent, coming all the way through, blocking. Fold, block. Fold, block. And then done full speed. Ayah! Block, ayah! Okay, that's your low block. The low block can also be done with a forward stance. For instance, you will be stepping back as you fold in a forward stance and blocking. When doing this block, your hand should be 6 to 8 inches above your knee. It shouldn't be out here, it should be right above the knee. The low block from a forward stance. And of course, from there, a C-step lunge punch to practice your self-defense moves from. It covers your palm heel block and your low block. Your next block is called an inside block. Now, in your palm heel block, you pivot the body slightly sideways, and the same thing with your low block. When doing an inside block, the arm will fold as if you're going to show your muscle to somebody. You bring it up beside your head. You're going to pivot on the ball of both feet, sweeping the forearm across in front of the body, turning it all the way out, so you're blocking with the outside or the hard part of the arm, blocking there. Now, to block with the other arm, you'll fold it up beside your head, pull your right hand to your side as you sweep that left arm across in front of the body. Fold, block, fold, block, fold, block. Now done full speed. Ready? Block, block, block. Okay, that's your inside block. That's the 3 blocks that are required for your yellow belt. Along with those blocks, you should also know how to throw a punch behind them. These are called combinations or block punch combinations. When done with an opponent, if you threw a right hand punch at me, for instance, and I used an inside block, I should be able to block and then counter. If I were using a palm heel block, I would be able to block, punch, and if I were using a low block, if he throws a lunge punch, I could still use a low block and a punch. So your combinations are, you got to be able to step and block, punch for a low block punch combination, or an inside block punch combination. Notice I'm stepping back on both of these, and also a palm heel block punch. Techniques can be done with a step or without. You can do a low block punch, palm heel block punch, inside block punch. One of the way of practicing your blocks is using one arm only. Simply doing a palm heel block, a low block, inside block, low block, palm heel, and simply working the arms, block, 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 and simply working the arms so you can move it all different directions. As you progress in the martial arts, you'll learn a lot more blocks, and you'll be able to put all the different blocks together into different movements so that you can work the arm, developing your blocking techniques, and then throwing a punch. These are different blocking drills that you'll learn. That covers all your blocks and block punch combinations. Next, I want to go into your kicks. Your kicks, you've got 3 basic kicks to learn, and then you've got to learn the actual thrust motion with that. The thrust motion means you're stepping forward when doing the kick. However, we're going to start with what's called a snap kick. The first kick I'm going to show you is a front snap kick. From facing me from a ready position, step back with your right foot, forward stance. Good. Now, with your front leg bent, we'll first learn this kick on what's called a 4 count. On the count of 1, bring your rear foot up to your knee, picking the knee up high, pull the foot up. We're going to be hitting with the ball of the foot that's just below the toes here. When doing this kick, you're going to kick straight out, all the way out, extending your foot forward, toes up. Again, hitting with the ball of the foot here. When you refold this, keep your knee where it is, bring the foot back to your knee, and then forward, you'll set it back down to forward stance. This is done to develop your strength and balance. Again, 1, bring it up. 2, kick. 3, refold. 4, set it down. Very good. Now also required for your yellow belts is what's called a balance stretch, or 15-second hold. So in this case, you'll bring it up, 1, 2, kick, and you'll have to hold the kick for 15 seconds. I won't have you do it now, but that's what we'll have to hold at that position for 15 seconds. That's a front kick, done from a 4 count. Next is a 3 count front kick to develop a little more speed in your kick. 1 is up. On 2, it'll be out and back. Again, 2, 2, and 3, set it down. Now on a 1 count, on a full speed kick, you'll bring the knee up, kick, and refold. Again, kick. Again, kick. A front snap kick. Also is a flip kick. By the way, on a front snap kick, the next position on that is a front thrust kick. In this case, he'll, on a 3 count, 1, bring it up, 2, kick and refold, 3, step into the motion. And then the other foot, 1, bring it up, 2, kick and refold, 3, step into it. Very good. That is a front snap kick and a front thrust kick. Next one, go into a flip kick. Give me your right side forward guard position. When doing a flip kick, you'll fold the front leg by picking the knee up, pulling the foot back to your rear end. At the same time, you're going to pivot on the ball of your left foot. So as this knee comes up, this foot has got to pivot on the ball of your foot. You'll turn, picking the knee up. Slow motion, pick the knee up. Now notice the foot is at the rear end. The other foot's pointing away from the target. You're going to be hitting with the top of your foot here, or the instep. When you kick, the foot will come straight out, hitting the body or head, wherever the height that you throw the kick, and then you'll refold the kick before you're setting it down. Now, you simply aim this kick by aiming your knee. If I aim my knee at Mr. Jewell's knee, I'd hit him in the knee. If I aim my knee at his belly, I'll hit him in the belly. If I aim my knee at his head, I'll hit him in the head. So the higher you pick your knee up, the higher the kick goes out. It's very simple. Now, when doing this kick, it's a very quick motion. It's not a particularly powerful kick. However, it will hit them so fast, you'll be able to have knockout power with it. The kick is done by picking the knee up, popping the kick, and then setting it down. Slow motion first. Pick it up, kick, setting it down. Again, pick it up, kick, setting it down. Now full speed. Ready? Kick. Again, kick. Okay, keep in mind the knee comes up before the kick goes out. That's your flip kick, or your defensive snapping flip kick. For instance, if I am attacking Mr. Jewell, he could very easily, as I get on the inside, throw the kick to my head. However, if he's moving towards me, he will first need to do a shuffle. Shuffling is part of your footwork. You bring your back foot up to your front foot, then pick the knee up, kick, and refold. Try that again. Shuffle up, kick. Good. Okay. That's a thrust flip kick. Your last kick you've got to learn for your yellow belt is a side kick. The side kick is the most efficient kick you'll ever learn. And a lot of your advanced kicks are based on this kick. Your spinning back kick, your jump spinning hook kick. They're based on a side kick. You must first throw that side kick to be able to throw the advanced kicks. When hitting with a side kick, you'll fold the kick. Your right side forward. You'll fold the kick by pulling your knee in close to your chest. I tell you, let's face the camera with that. Pull your knee, face the camera with the guard position. Pull your knee in close to the chest. The knee comes in tight. You pull it in as tight as you can to the body. Keep the knee directly behind the heel, so it's a straight line. Also, keep the heel slightly higher than the toes. You don't want to kick with your foot pointing up like this, but instead down. Hitting with the heel or the side of the foot, the outside edge of the foot. When doing this kick, the foot will go straight out, kicking straight out to the side, keeping the heel slightly higher than the toes, keep a straight line down the body and down the knee. Notice Mr. Jewell is looking over his shoulder when doing this kick. When you refold it, pull your knee back in close to your chest and then set it down. Okay, again, when facing me now, the kick will be done by folding, kicking straight out, refolding, and then setting it down. It's a terrific kick for defending yourself. For instance, someone coming at you. Earlier I mentioned that a flip kick, the trouble with a flip kick is that the kick will bounce off and you can still get on them. However, a side kick, when you go towards your opponent, it meets you halfway and you can't get in on your opponent. So it's a terrific kick for deep ending yourself. Offensively, it's two ways of moving towards your opponent. You can do a shuffle, bringing your rear foot to your front foot, folding the leg, kicking, refolding, and backing up. Or, for maximum power, you can step behind the foot, stepping behind the leg to cock the body around a little harder, now throwing your weight into the kick, folding, kicking, and refolding. As a beginner, it's much easier to throw that kick correctly by stepping behind the foot. That gives you that automatic fold, automatic cock position of the hips, then throwing the kick. However, as an advanced student, you'll want to start using just your shuffle. The trouble with stepping behind the foot is you're doing what's called telegraphing the kick. You're showing the kick to your opponent before you hit him with it. However, when you move with your feet together, he can't tell whether you're going to throw a side kick, a flip kick, a front kick, a hook kick. He can't tell what kind of kick coming at him at all. So it's very important to throw that kick from a shuffle-up position. But as a beginner, step behind the foot to develop more power and to develop your form correctly. Thank you, Mr. Jewell. That covers all of your basic techniques that are required for your yellow belt.
See the difference, the difference, the difference.
Karate's more than just words.
Black Belt Schools of America.
I think martial arts can build a child's self-esteem.
At Black Belt Schools of America, not only do our students learn the most, they have the most fun, too.
In Lynchburg, call Super Kicks Karate, 845-KIDS.
Hi, today we're going to be teaching you the fighting combinations that are required for your yellow belt. On this material, I will need a partner to work with me. Mr. Jewell, Mr. Scott Jewell will be helping me. Mr. Jewell, thank you for helping me. We're going to be covering the 5 techniques that are called fighting techniques or sparring techniques that we use when sparring each other in class to develop our timing, our distance, our control, and a lot of things that will help you in your self-defense area also. Now keep in mind, these techniques are used as a game of sport karate and not necessarily for self-defense purposes. However, they are a lot of fun and it helps you develop your distance and timing on working with an opponent. Mr. Jewell, I'd like for you to give me your guard position. Give me with a guard position. From here, we're going to work the first technique. It's called a back fist reverse punch. I want to cover a couple of basics first, and that is covering the gap between my front foot and his front foot. Now, that area in particular, we've got to get across it. I really can't hit him from here. He can't hit me from there. So I've got to be able to cover that distance. One of the ways we cover the distance is called a shuffle. You slide your back foot up to your front foot. Now when I shuffle out, I don't want to shuffle out so that I stop about halfway or into his foot. I want to shuffle out so that my knee gets all the way on the inside of his knee. So when I move towards my opponent, I'm going to move in with, for instance, a back fist to the head, and then when I shuffle out, I come all the way across and shoot the reverse punch under the arm. Keep in mind, when I shoot the reverse punch under the arm, I keep my hand inverted or vertical so that I can absorb his block when he comes down. That's your first technique, a back fist reverse punch. You'll slide up, back fist, sliding out, reverse punch. When done, full speed, hi-ya! Your back fist reverse punch. The next technique, you simply add a flip kick to that technique. First you shuffle up, and then you lead your opponent by hitting him just above the belt with a forward leg flip kick. Then stepping down, back fist to the head, reverse punch to the body. Notice you're working your opponent left, right, high, low, hands, feet. You're working your opponent first low, high, low. Flip kick, back fist, reverse punch. Hi-ya! Your next technique is a clear head punch. From a fighting position, you're going to shuffle up, keeping your guard in tight. As you shuffle out, you're going to move that front hand out of the way and then punch to the face. Clearing and head punch. Again. Hi-ya! Once again, full speed. Hi-ya! Your clear head punch. Your next technique, we simply add a flip kick to that. First of all, you'll slide up, right leg or forward leg flip kick to the waist, stepping down, clear the hand out of the way, punch to the head. Again, kick to the body, clear punch. When done full speed, flip kick, clear head punch. Next, we're going to go into your last technique. It's a back fist side kick. From a guard position, you'll first lead your opponent by lunging up with a back fist. They raise their hand, opening their body up. From here, you're going to fold your right leg or forward leg side kick to the body, stepping into it. Again, and full speed. Your back fist side kick. Thank you, Mr. Jewell. They are your 5 sparring combinations for your yellow belt. The best way to practice these techniques, first of all, practice without a partner. Just get the feel for the movement. Get the movement so you can do it without thinking about it or have an automatic instinct. You must memorize these techniques and have them at your easy disposal. If you have to get to the ring and start thinking about, let's see, what was that technique now? I forgot it. You can't use it. It should first be mentally committed to yourself so that you know the technique. Then you practice it physically so that you can do it without thinking about it and do it from instinctive movement as opposed to, let's see, I slide my back foot up and my front hand goes out and you can't use it that way. When you're in the ring, the time, it becomes forever. And you've got to have it so you can do it instantaneously, so you haven't got to think about it. So it's very important you practice these techniques over and over and over and over, and then work with a partner to get your distance down and control down from there. You'll also be practicing with safety equipment. That's the gloves, the boots, the shin guards, and a full headgear and mouthpiece. This isn't so you can hit hard. It's simply so in case you do hit your opponent, you won't injure yourself or your opponent. So it's very important to practice safety along with your fighting combinations or sparring techniques. Next, we'll be going into the grabbing techniques that are required for your yellow belt. When doing grab techniques, you literally means you're going to be putting your hands on your opponent by grabbing him, either by the shoulder or twisting his arm behind his back or grabbing him by the lapel. Some way a person can grab you. These techniques need to be done also so that they're automatic and instinctive, so you haven't got to think about them. The first technique we teach you is called a single arm wrap. Against someone simply grabbing you by the shoulder. If they grab you by the shoulder, the first thing we want to make sure that you understand is you use common sense before self-defense. So if a person grabs, you don't automatically start beating this guy up. All you do first is reach across with your palm heel and knock his arm off your shoulder and say, "Don't grab me again." Let them know that you're ready to defend yourself if they do. So if they grab you with the shoulder, you simply, "Don't grab me again." If they grab you again, now they've got you by the shoulder. You want to catch them. You're going to wrap your arm all the way around from the inside all the way around, catching their arm tight, pulling your fist in tight to your body under their arm. Using your other hand at your side, you're going to shoot a reverse punch into their ribs or into their solar plexus, depending on which way they're facing. If they lay their hand on the other shoulder, the opposite hand will wrap to the inside as you lunge in, stepping all the way around, locking their arm in tight, and then reverse punch under the arm. Now, when going to the rib cage, it's very important that you do this correctly. When shooting a reverse punch to the ribs, you want to bend the rib in just a little bit, about 2 inches, and then let go of it. It literally breaks itself outward. So when you break the ribs, you wrap and then in and out quickly with a reverse punch under the arm. So if I grab you on the shoulder, wrap around, punch. Good. If I grab you from the other shoulder, even if I grab him from behind, if I grab my opponent from behind by this shoulder, that means he'll step back with this foot. And this arm will wrap over, catching it tight, and then reverse punch. If I grab him on the other shoulder, he'll wrap, punch. So no matter where I grab him from or what arm I grab him with, the same technique will work. You wrap and punch. If I lay my hand on this other shoulder, that foot steps in, he wraps and punches. That's called single arm wrap. Your next technique is double arm wrap. Face the other way. Someone sticks up behind you. Instead of grabbing you with one hand, they grab you with both hands. Now you're going to step straight back, wrapping your arm over top, catching both of their arms. You have them by both arms now. You'll punch the solar plexus and then slide up, front knee to the groin. Now your natural tendency is you're going to want to use your rear knee. Wrap. You're going to want to use that rear knee. However, it won't reach them. When you hit them with a punch, it's going to drive them back slightly. The rear knee won't reach them. You're going to need to slide your foot up and then use your front knee to the groin. You've got to be extra careful when practicing this technique. It doesn't take much pressure of a knee to do a lot of injury. You grab, wrap, punch, slide up, and knee. That's a double arm wrap. From there, we're going to go into a simple movement. It's called a push. if someone pushes you, chances are they'll push you so fast and so expected that you'll get hit before you realize it was done. So you want to make sure they do it again, or you want to at least tell them not to do it again. You tell them, don't push me again. Chances are they're going to push you again. So if you push me, you tell them, don't push me again. They push you again, you're going to catch their hand. One hand on top of their hand, the other hand under their wrist. So keep them from being able to pull out either down or up. You lock their arm in tight. From here, you're going to lean forward, which will bend their wrist back, causing pain in their wrist. Will make them bend over also. So if I snap over very quickly, I'm going to bend him over. Then I'll bring my other knee up to his face. Again, he pushes me. You tell him, don't push me again. He pushes you again. You grab his hand on his arm, lean forward, and then bring the knee up to the face. Now, if he pushes you with both hands, you'll simply reach over, locking one arm under your forearm, as the other hand grabs the wrist. Now you're going to bend him straight forward and down, and then bring your knee up right to his face. It's also okay, in this case, to step straight back to bring him down, and then bring the knee up to the center of the face. That's your single arm and double arm push. Next is against a lapel grab. Someone grabbing you by the lapel from the front, and they'll usually pull you in tight, and they may be giving you a piece of their mind or telling you you're messing with their girlfriend or something. Who knows? If they grab you, when they grab your shirt, you're going to grab their arm. Actually grab their wrist. You're going to step back, which is going to do two things. It's going to pull them off balance, and it's also going to straighten their elbow out. When you step back, it pulls them off balance and straightens their arm out. Now you have your inside block, which you use against their elbow. You're going to use that block not straight across, but slightly upward to lift their body and also to cause damage to the elbow, possibly breaking the arm. Using a knife hand, when you hit him on the elbow, you're going to turn him away from you. You want to turn him back towards you. So from here, you're going to chop to the inside of the elbow. Pulls him back around. You'll refold to the side of your face using your cross chop to their face. So again, it's break, chop, chop. When doing a cross chop, you'll use the side of the hand, using the inside edge, not straight on, but at a slight angle. The hand will fold across your face and then chop, and the other hand across your face and then chop. So it's a cross and chop. Next is against a single on lapel grab again. They grab you, you grab them, stepping back, break, chop, chop. Next is against a arm twist behind the back. They grab your hand and twist up behind your back. When they have you behind the back, they're having pressure going upward here. You're going to step back so you move with that pressure. Now you'll reach out with your front arm or your other arm and elbow straight back to the face. Looking down, see where their legs are, you're going to do a scoop kick, which means you pick your knee up. So you bend your knee, kick to the groin. Take that same leg, step out, turn around, catching their wrist tight, and then shuffle up, side kick to their body. Again, they twist your arm behind your back, step back, elbow, scoop kick, step out, spin, side kick. That's against your arm twist behind the back. Okay, your 5 grab techniques are single arm wrap, double arm wrap, push,
Push me again.
lapel grab, and arm twist behind the back. They are your 5 techniques. Now these techniques are very easy to get down to the point that they're automatic and instinctive, because you naturally learn that when they lay their hand on the shoulder what to do with it. You don't think, you can automatically react to the motion. Practice these techniques, but also remember to practice control. You're not going to want to hit your opponent hard. You're working with an opponent, so practice focusing your punch so that it barely touches your opponent, but throw it power and throw it with speed. Next, we're going to be going into your self-defense moves that are required for your yellow belt. These are self-defense moves, numbers 1 through 5. These techniques will teach you how to automatically move when an opponent comes at you with a straight line technique or a punch or even a kicking technique. The idea behind this is not to block and then counter, but instead block and counter at the exact same movement. You should remember to always practice these techniques both left side and right side. Now when practicing these with an opponent, your opponent will throw a straight line punch at you, a lunge punch. On the count of 1, he'll step back and get in a fighting or forward stance into ready for a lunge position. On 2, he'll step forward and throw a straight line punch at his opponent. The idea behind it is this punch I've got to defend myself against. Now at this point I'm really too far away from him to be able to defend myself with it. So I'll start off a little bit closer to my opponent. Ready? 2. The first technique, we're going to step to the outside. As you block with a palm heel block to the inside, you'll use your open inner hand ridge hand. It means you open your hand up as if you have a large, let's say a mayonnaise jar in your hand. And you're going to hit him in his throat with the inner ridge hand, that knuckle of the index finger to the throat. And you're not literally grabbing the throat, but you're slamming that part of the hand into the throat area. This is very important. You're careful here because it's a very dangerous technique. But keep in mind, these are self-defense techniques. These are techniques that you'll use in the street to defend yourself with. You haven't got time to kickbox with this guy and bounce around with him. You want to stop your opponent as quickly as possible. 1, 2. Blocking and hitting to the throat. Notice I'm blocking and hitting all in one movement as I move to the outside. From here, he has a very difficult time hitting me with his other hand because I'm on the other side of his body. So the idea behind it is to angle on your opponent and not back up. If he takes a straight punch at me and I back up and block, he can still punch me with the other hand or with the other hand and follow with a kick. But if I move to his outside, he can't hit me and I can hit him. It's a block and a counter to the throat. That's self-defense move number 1. Full speed. 1, 2. Now, self-defense move number 2 is the exact same stepping and blocking, except instead of hitting him in the throat, you're going to shoot a reverse punch to his ribs. 1, 2. Blocking and punching to the ribs. When done full speed. 1, 2. Number 3, you're going to first punch him in the ribs and then go to his throat. Slow motion. 1, 2. Blocking, punch the ribs, and then go to the throat. Make sure that when you punch the ribs, you refold before going to the throat. Don't punch and then simply reach up and grab him. You're not grabbing, but you're literally hitting him in the throat. 1, 2. Number 4 is a little more complicated here. We're going to use a cross chop. 1, it starts off like number 1. 2, in that you strike to the throat. Then that arm will come inside. As you maintain contact with your arm, you'll roll it over, grabbing his wrist, pivoting on the ball of both feet, turning your body sideways. Now, from this position, I'm so close to him, I can't hit him with a cross chop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lean away slightly, pulling his wrist down to my body, leaning away so I'm in range for the cross chop to the bridge of the nose or to the throat again. Again. 2. Throat. Roll. Chop. Full speed. 1, 2. Set defense move number 4. Number 5 is against a front thrust kick. 1. In this case, your opponent comes at you straight line with a kick. We want to move towards his inside because we're going to attack the middle of the body. So when they kick, you're going to step off at an angle, blocking the kick down with a low block. You're going to fold your hand back to your shoulder, throwing a back fist to their head. As you pull that hand to your face, you're going to pivot on the ball of both feet for maximum power, cranking your punch to the solar plexus. Again, 1, 2, block, back fist, punch. Full speed. Ready? 1, 2. They are your 5 self-defense techniques that are required for your yellow belt. Practice these techniques with a partner, practicing the distance control, the timing of it, and developing your control where you can hit your opponent without really hitting him hard. It's very important that you learn a method of when they punch at you, you can automatically block and counter, and then follow up, sweeping him, taking him down, doing what you want to with him from there. There's no perfect set way of defending yourself. However, by learning these techniques and developing your certain skills, you'll be in situations where no matter what you are with your opponent, you'll be able to go into another technique that you've already learned, whether it be an elbow to the head or the body, or an elbow, a throw. No matter where you're at, no matter what position you're on this opponent, you'll immediately come to mind another technique that you could use, that you've used before. And then you can grab him and throw him. Because you've used so many different ways of defending yourself that they become automatic and instinctive. These are your first 5, so get in the habit of being able to just, when they throw the punch at you, to be able to automatically move and counter from there. Thank you. Next, we're going to go into star form. Star form is your first kata that is required for your yellow belt. It has all your material for your basics or your blocks, your punches, your kicks, your stances, and it gives you a chance of practicing against several imaginary opponents. I'll be doing your star form two different ways, both facing the camera and explaining exactly how it's supposed to be done, and then I will turn my back to you so you can practice with your own TV set with me in front of you as if I was in front of you in a classroom. Star form done slowly to explain the techniques. You start off in a ready position. You'll bring your left foot up, cross your arms, salute, bring it back up, break out. You announce the kata here. Star form. Left foot steps out into a horse stance. Left hand across your chest, right hand up ready for a palm heel block, raising your elbow, slow motion, palm heel block as you drop your left hand to your side, right hand in front of your shoulder. You'll throw a double punch. Left punch, right punch, ki-eyeing on your right punch. Bring your left foot up to your right foot, fold your left hand, turn to the left, step out into a forward stance, low block. Raise your hand up, solar plexus height, right leg, front thrust kick. Forward stance, as you land, right hand punch. Now, right hand on your shoulder, left hand across your body as you make a half turn. Take your front foot, step over behind your left foot, pivoting into a forward stance. Low block, raise the hand, left leg, front thrust kick. Stepping into a forward stance, left hand punch. Now, bring your left foot up to your right foot, left hand folds, stepping straight out, left hand, low block. Fold, back fist, pull that hand to your side, punch. Stepping forward, right hand, folds, low block, back fist, punch. Fold your right foot back to your left leg, keep your knees bent, guard position up, right knife hand, cross chop, bring it down slowly, move it over, right leg, side kick, hi-ya, ki-eyeing. Change your guard, cross chop, bring it down slowly, left leg, side kick, hi-ya. Fold left hand across your chest, right hand up ready for an inside block. Your opponent's coming at you from this angle straight in front of you. You'll step back with your left foot, right arm, inside block, right arm, low block. Shuffle up, keeping your knees bent, right leg, back, right hand, back fist. Pull your hand to a guard position, do a right leg double action flip kick. Kick low, kick high, stepping into a horse stance. As you fold the other arm, left arm inside block, left arm low block. Shuffle up, keeping your knees bent, left hand back fist, guard position, left leg, double action flip kick. Kick low, kick high, feet down side by side. Step straight back with your right foot forward stance. Low block. Raise your hand, solar plexus height. You do a right leg, front thrust kick, punch, left leg, front thrust kick, punch. Right hand ready for a cross chop. Fold across your face, look to your left, bring your right foot all the way around into a horse stance. Chop to the right, look to your left, shuffle up, fold your left hand ready for a cross chop. Shuffle out, chop to the side, look straight ahead. Shuffle back up, feet together, right hand across your chest, left hand ready for a palm heel block. Shuffle out, horse stance, palm heel block, double punch. Right punch, left punch, ki-eye, hi-ya! Bring your right foot up, shoulder width apart, break out, and then left foot comes up and salute. That covers star form, done exactly how it's supposed to be done, step-by-step procedures. Next, I'll be going into this kata with my back to you. Now I'm going to do the kata with my back to you. So if I turn around, just remember that you're facing your TV set. When I turn to the left, you turn to the left. So if I turn this way, you simply turn the same way. If I turn back this way, you turn that way. This gives you a way of practicing your kata with me as if I'm in front of you in a classroom. Start from a ready position. Left foot comes up, salute, break out. Announce a kata. Star form, horse stance, palm heel block, double punch. Hi-ya! Left foot comes up, left hand comes up, step out, low block. Raise your hand, front kick. Step into it, straight punch. Right hand over your shoulder, half turn. Low block. Raise your hand, front kick, straight punch. Turn, 90-degree angle. Left hand, low block. Fold, back fist, reverse punch. Step forward. Fold, low block, back fist, reverse punch. Feet together side by side. Right hand, cross chop. Bring it down slowly, move it over. Right leg, side kick, ki-ya. Hi-ya! Change your guard. Now you're looking away from your TV set. Left hand, chop, bring it down slowly, move it over. Left leg, side kick, hi-ya! Fold left hand across your chest, right hand beside your head. Step back with your left foot. Inside block, low block. Shuffle up, back fist, right leg, double action flip kick. Hi-ya! Inside block, low block. Shuffle up, back fist, left leg, double action flip kick. Hi-ya! Step down, feet side by side. Step straight back with your right foot, low block. Raise your hand. You're going to do 2 front kick punches in a row. Front kick, punch, front kick, punch. Right hand to your face. Right foot comes around to a horse stance. You're now facing your TV set again. Chop to the side, look to your left, shuffle up, left hand, shuffle out, chop, face straight back forward, bring your left foot back up, right hand across your chest, left hand ready for a palm heel block, shuffle out, palm heel block, double punch, right, left, hi-ya! Right foot comes up, break out, left leg, salutes. You should practice your kata with me, or once you learn all the techniques, practice on your own, but do it over and over and over again. Practice it with intensity. It's not important you simply turn and block and kick and punch, but instead put as much power, as much form as you can into every movement. You're trying to develop intensity. So when you step and block, you want to put power into that motion. Hard as you can. You haven't got to do them in succession quickly, but each movement as much power as you can put into it. I hope you've enjoyed practicing with this show. That concludes all of the yellow belt material for American Freestyle Karate. Thank you.
See the difference. The difference. The difference.
Karate's more than just words.
Black Belt Schools of America.
I think martial arts can build a child's self-esteem.
At Black Belt Schools of America, not only do our students learn the most, they have the most fun, too.
In Lynchburg, call Super Kicks Karate, 845-KIDS.